Hello, everyone. Just as was expected, I am here on what has been a beautiful Friday in the neighborhood. Picture perfect weather, 4 days on end. A bit of a warm up for the latter half of the weekend. Up to the mid 80s or so, but still no showers or storms in our forecast for many, many days. We're in the middle, more closer to the beginning still, actually, of a nice run of some very beautiful September weather. I have some great news that I have spoke about for the past few days this week, hoping to air. I still have the wonderful story about the Tom Whitaker exhibit, a lady who traveled back home over the course of the Labor Day and Founders Day weekend with her bringing dozens of formal dresses, prom dresses. You can read about that in yesterday's edition of the Sagersville Independent, a lot of other great reads as well. But it's COVID tonight. Not quite 20 cases in McGoffin County, but close. But half of the ones we have are in kids, students, 3 members of our volleyball team. Johnson County has a young Johnson Central high school student on the ventilator at last report. They lost a young mother of 2 at the age of 32, 33, I believe, yesterday. And that data continues on. So we will update you on local and state cases, and we will as well talk about happenings in our state and national government, where actions in the last 24 hours leave little doubt to the very differing opinions between, by and large, the Republican and Democratic parties when it comes to COVID-19 masks and vaccines. So stay tuned. I will, however, after all that COVID information and possibly some other news, leave you on a wonderful note weather-wise. So please, stay with me for that at least, and I'll be right back. Welcome to East Kentucky's premier vape and CBD shop, offering all-natural tobacco alternatives and everything vape and smoke shop related. Everything you're looking for and everything you're not. Best quality, best prices, best service.
Come to Appalachian Smoke Shop for all your tobacco alternatives and accessories, as well as products like CBD, kratom, and legal THC that people are telling us they're using to treat pain, anxiety, depression, difficulty sleeping, and lack of energy, as well as just for overall wellness. Make it your one stop, Appalachian Smoke Shop.
Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Call the pros. All Pro Gutter Works specializes in seamless gutters, vinyl siding, metal roofing, replacement doors and windows, remodeling or adding on to your home with free and fair estimates backed by decades of happy and return customers with guaranteed satisfaction and 18 months 0% financing. All Pro Gutter Works, 349-9999.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
In some non-COVID related news tonight, the McGoffin County Football Hornets are on the road tonight, traveling to Bellevue. That's in northern Kentucky. They haven't had a home game as of yet. The only one on the schedule got canceled. I think it was the only one on the schedule due to COVID. They've had 2 wins, however, on the road at Peaburg and Knott Central. But they are on the road, if the schedule permits, until October the 7th. October the 7th when they start their home streak, 4 games, the last 4 games of the regular season. We wish them luck tonight, and wish to see them at home here as soon as possible. 460 West is going to be closed starting Monday of next week. Of course, it was to be weeks ago. It was canceled for weather and some other reasons. Detours have been posted. A bridge replacement just past the Morgan-Magoffin County line going towards West Liberty at the bottom of the hill will take about 2 weeks. There are detour signs posted, and I can tell you I have trekked it myself just in the past couple of days. And if you still want to take 460 instead of the Parkway and 205, getting onto Great Creek and then coming out on 1081, which is just a few feet past the work site, will add about 4 miles to your trip overall. It will feel a bit longer than that because it's going to be a slow-paced 4 miles because of the rather narrow road of Grape Creek and elsewise. But keep that in mind, just to let you know. It will add 4 miles of travel to your trip to Morgan County or from. Okay, let's go to COVID. Let's start with our local numbers tonight. Half of the cases today in Magoffin County are in kids under the age of 18. After 21 cases on Tuesday of this week, 21 on Wednesday, 26 on yesterday, a total of 18 cases, and that was, keep in mind, as of around the 2 o'clock hour. Reported from the Magoffin County Health Department, 18, top left of your screen, 9 adults, 9 kids, exactly 50%. That's the highest ratio, highest number of kids we've had in a single day, I believe, in many, many days of reporting, as we continue to see more of our younger people being affected, getting sick, and yes, we're starting to see some die. New deaths in Magoffin County, not necessarily today, but we believe it's at least 1 for the week and possibly 2. Those numbers still yet to be confirmed. I'll try to have more on early next week. Hospitalized, 9 individuals from Magoffin County currently, and 3 of those are currently on ventilators in various medical facilities. And you may have noticed there our positivity rating 112.8, which had gone up a couple of percentage points from yesterday. Today's incident rate map shows another 2 counties, one of the same and another different, but only 2 counties in orange, while everyone else is very well into the red. And Magoffin County is at 112, Floyd 126, Johnson County under the 100 mark at 97. Johnson County reported 55 new cases yesterday. 22 of those were in children. They had 19 hospitalized at this time yesterday, and as I referred to earlier, they had another death reported in Johnson County, and I believe that being a 33-year-old mother of 2. Floyd County, 62 cases yesterday. 20 of those were in kids. 11 out of the 62, only 11, were in vaccinated individuals, while they had 33 hospitalized yesterday. Oh, and on a personal note as well, I spoke again with someone who spoke to Carter Conley earlier today. He's still not doing well in the ICU, still on close to 100% oxygen, and if not on a ventilator, however, but not doing well and not able to talk for more than just a few moments at a time. Now, for a quick state update, yesterday the governor announcing 5,252 new cases of COVID, over 1,600 in kids, and 36 new deaths. Today, another high day of cases and deaths, and another day where we're continuing to see younger people get sick and die from COVID.
As the Delta variant burns through each and every one of our communities, we've reached another grim milestone today. Today, we're reporting 32 new deaths, including a 19-year-old from Davis County, a 42-year-old from Davis County, a 38-year-old from Pulaski County, a 47-year-old from Anderson County, and so many other Kentuckians taken too early from us. These 32 new deaths now push us over the 8,000 lives lost mark for this pandemic. Please get those green lights back out if they're not still on. These are a lot of grieving families, and it looks like the coming weeks are going to be really hard. Make sure you light up your homes so that people know that you care. I'm also sad to report that we have our 5th highest day ever today, 5,197 new cases, and we have more Kentuckians in the hospital, in the ICU, and needing a ventilator to breathe because of COVID than we have ever had. If you haven't gotten vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you are vaccinated or you're not, please wear a mask when you're outside of the home, but otherwise indoors. This is killing a lot of people, and we can prevent it. We can protect one another. Please do your part.
And talking about positive cases in our children, the American Academy of Pediatrics announced just today that kids in the nation now account for more than a quarter of the new COVID cases that are being counted. Over 250,000 cases in children added just this week here in America. That's the largest number since the pandemic began. Child cases have been increasing essentially exponentially and account for 750,000 of the cases over the month's span of August the 5th to about September the 2nd. And all this, of course, as kids are getting back into school. That is a good segue, or an appropriate segue, I should say, into our next report. And it does appear as though actions in the last 24 hours leave little doubt to the very differing opinions between, by and large, the Republican and Democratic parties in our state and in our nation when it comes to COVID-19, masks, and the vaccine. Of course, President Biden's mandates, of which a significant portion of which I read to you yesterday, well, as you can well imagine, have been met with serious dissent from mostly Republican governors, including Florida's Governor DeSantis, imagine that, where many governors are planning to resist his vaccine mandate. They're threatening to sue. The president saying that those governors are and have been cavalier with the health of their kids, so cavalier with the health of their communities. The mandate on yesterday from the Biden administration requiring all employers with over 100 employees to require them to be vaccinated or face a $14,000 fine per violation. A host of other items in that mandate that I read you yesterday as well. While here in Kentucky, the Republican-led Kentucky General Assembly sent a resounding message to Governor Beshear today over his governing of the pandemic. Both the Senate and the House late yesterday overrode the governor's vetoes of Senate Bills 1 and Senate Bill 2. Senate Bill 1, which of course mandated masks in our schools and our daycare centers as well. And now Republicans are going to give that decision to individual school districts to make themselves, as well as business owners across the Commonwealth. I've gone through a portion of Senate Bill 1 today. It requires school districts to have COVID-19 school operation plans in place as the effective date of this act. The mask mandate will stay in place until early next week, and then it will be no longer legal per the actions of our legislators. And within 14 days of the date, I believe it's the 15th of this month and next week, regardless, the Department for Public Health has to develop a test to stay school plan that maybe, I'm not sure how may works into that, but may be implemented by school districts in whole or in part to minimize the impact of quarantining, including an alternate to quarantining, an on-site testing option that would allow non-symptomatic but exposed COVID-19 students to remain in school by testing negative for a number of days after said exposure. It also says that a school district may temporarily assign students at the school, grade, classroom, or student group level to remote instruction individually or by classroom, essentially limiting the shutdown of entire schools, and that remote instruction may be provided to a particular school, grade, classroom, or group of students up to 20 days. With that said, will Montgomery County students be wearing masks starting next week? Superintendent of Schools Scott Helton says yes, per a plan, a tiered plan that the Montgomery County Board of Education put into place some weeks ago. That was in an earlier report here on Your News Today and in the Sagersville Independent.
Now, Senate Bill 1 has been passed, and it's been directed back to the local districts to deal with a lot of these issues relating to the COVID pandemic. And one thing in particular that's brought a lot of attention, Rick, is the mask mandate. And that's came back to the local districts, and that's a school board decision now. Each school district will require or not require masks to be worn by staff and students. Prior to school starting, we had done a matrix type thing looking at the possibility of being able to move in and out with mask requirements, and we're going to fall back to that matrix now, and that's what we'll be following for the remainder till January 15th, when the Senate Bill 1 can be revised or looked at again by the legislators when they reconvene in Frankfurt in January, and maybe some changes will take place then. But as of right now, most of the issues that relate to COVID have been directed back to the local district, and as far as school being called off or going completely virtual, they've added some things in there that's kind of limits the number of days that we can call off, and some of the things that's kind of changed from what we experienced last year. There'll be no more entire district being called off, and the only way that could occur is if I don't have enough staff to complete busing or something of that nature. But short of that, we can now just target individual classrooms to be off on virtual, or individual schools, or a couple schools at a time. But other than that, some of the other schools will be going, some will be off, but hopefully we'll be able to manage it within just some classrooms. If we have an outbreak at a school, we can be contained within a particular classroom, and we can put those kids on virtual for a while and then get them back in. We were given 20 additional days for that, and we still have our 10 NTI days. That those NTI days, they're geared towards weather related right now, and that's what they're looking for those to be used for. Some of the other things are they're trying to limit the number of kids that we're having to quarantine. They've got some provisions in there, maybe some tests on site, and if you don't test positive, you stay. There's a few things that I've been reading through this. We've not got through all of it. We've got to work up a local district plan. We had one prior to school starting with ESSER, but this one we're going to have to implement some of the things that they've just passed, like the mask and the not being able to close or go virtual with the entire district. Those things are going to have to be planted into this new plan and put out there. But on Facebook now, I had them to put back our matrix that we're following with the mask. We reestablished that again today on Facebook and our district webpage. So the purpose for the matrix was to kind of give us some flexibility that we didn't have to require masks all year, and if the positivity rate got below a certain number, we would lift the mask mandate. And that's what my goal and my intent is to do, to be able to lift it when we can. But if we can't, and if the numbers start increasing, we come back and enforce the mask mandate again.
The tier system that the Montgomery County Board of Education approved, 4 tiers before you now. Green is, well, feels like a dream and a lifetime away. Not much time will be needed to talk about that tonight. The yellow is based on 1 to 20 per 100,000 population. Orange is 20 to 50, and that is when masks will be required on buses, but only recommended for all students and staff. And anytime that the school system is in a 50 or greater positivity rating, if you will, masks will be required on buses, and masks will be required for all students and staff in all school facilities. While county-wide, we have been well over 100 and even up to as high as 200 and more over the course of the past several weeks. So with that said, they will be implementing the 4th tier for the foreseeable future. Moving on to another topic, however, the virtual academy, students learning at home. They have changed some requirements or some protocols for that, if you will, where at the start of the school year, they ask students to commit to either in-school learning or at-home learning, to which they will be committed for the entire first half of the school year and then again the second half. But Superintendent Helton says given the current COVID climate, they've had to make some alterations to that plan.
We did at the beginning of the year, when we created our plan, we established a virtual academy that gives some parents options versus the face-to-face. And early on, we put some deadlines in there that would a cutoff date, and you must maintain be in this program for a certain period of time. Well, since this Delta variant has been so explosive, We've been very flexible with that the last few days, and we've opened it up now. We're allowing more and more parents to contact us to have their kids go into the plan or removed from the plan. So we're being flexible. I know that we had stressed that early on that once you got into it, you stayed into it for a certain amount of time, and there was a cutoff date. But I felt like with all the unknown with this Delta variant that we had to be flexible. So if you have some parents out there that are concerned and they want to go to a virtual type of instruction, they can contact us, and we're still trying to sign some up in that way. And we've had vice versa, some come in, some coming out. So I just wanted to let the people know that that is an option, and we try to do that so that we can provide some kind of instruction. And I would ask that they kind of bear with us, especially in the K through 5. It's set up a little bit different than 6 through 12. 6 through 12, the students are working on a program. It's called Edgenuity, and it's designed specifically for their level and their abilities, and it covers all the content areas. But there's also teachers that are required to stay in a couple evenings a week to assist these kids. If they're having troubles, they can contact a teacher and they can get some assistance. Plus, during the day, if they have any problems, they can contact the school and someone will assist them. Our K through 5 is set up where we have just now this week formulated, we've got somebody responsible for kindergarten first, somebody second, third, somebody fourth, fifth, third and fourth, and somebody for fifth. These students will be kind of work together across the district. They may be in with a certain teacher, but there could be from another school. But these teachers are going to be gearing up. Right now, they're taking attendance on K through 5. They're doing it morning and afternoon, and they're putting some lessons out there. But starting sometime early next week, there'll be some live lessons taking place, and there'll be more interactive things. I want this to kind of straighten up and kind of be more of an interactive type thing where they can get the students involved and things of that nature.
Going back real quickly before we go, Scott, so the chart that I'm actually going to show right now while I'm asking you this has, as you spoke of earlier, implements that I think it's over a 50 positivity rate, if you will, for the county. That will have you continuing to wear masks in buildings. You know,
what you stress though, Rick, that's not the positivity rate is not 50 for the county. We're going by the positivity rate for the school population.
Correct.
Students.
Correct. But taking that in consideration, you've had 11 students and 3 staff test positive in the last 3 days. You've lost a member of your staff. You've got 7 students today and 3 student athletes who tested positive. That's just today. So, I mean, I don't think... Yeah, you're going to be wearing a mask in the Gulf County school system, and I think certainly rightfully so for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, as like you say, for right now, I can't see us coming out, even though the numbers are support what we put out earlier. It's two days right now, and like I said, those numbers could come down, and we could possibly remove the mask thing as they come down. But right now, I don't see them. There's no way that we can get away without wearing masks right now in the Gulf County schools.
And hopefully the last 2 COVID reports I have to share with you tonight. ARH is reporting this week in all of their 13 facilities, they have 0. None. There are no ICU beds available at last report in any of their 13 facilities. In fact, they had at least 3 dozen patients in emergency rooms waiting on intensive care units, where in all of their facilities, all of their staff are overworked, doing long shifts, double duties, where all of their cases, 95% or better, are in unvaccinated individuals. There's a term that I have become familiar with this week in reading happenings across the country, which could lead to happenings here in our area. It's called the Crisis Standards of Care, something that all hospitals hope and pray they never have to activate as a last resort. Well, it's being activated in some states like Idaho. For a series of hospitals in the northern part of that state, they are implementing a crisis standards of care protocol. What that does is allows them to allocate limited resources like ICU rooms to patients who are most likely to survive, because they can't care for all of the individuals to the very best of their ability, because they don't have the staff, the rooms, the ventilators, and everything they need to take care of them. So other patients will get care, but they might not be placed in a room. They might have to go to some sort of a meeting room, hallway, or the like, and receive their treatment without some of that life-saving medical equipment. This is where Idaho is, and this is where other states may be. Limited, exhausted staff and resources, only being able to treat those who they think might be able to survive because the unvaccinated are crushing available hospital care. Other states, Hawaii, and a couple of others that I read earlier today, via that and some other reports, are also starting to contemplate having to make that move. I'll be right back. Just click on ConleyTire.net and you can shop for tires, find out more about services, brands, wheels, rims, their free coffee, free Wi-Fi, and free local shuttle service, and of course the latest and greatest current offers and specials, like how right now you can get up to $150 back on a set of Goodyears. That's ConleyTire.net, or you can always stop by in Staffordsville or give them a call at 297-2424. Nostalgic or historic or whatever you want to call that feeling you get when you walk in and sit down at the counter and get a scoop of ice cream or a hot dog with sauce while your hometown pharmacist gets your prescriptions ready. Whatever it is, it's still here at Fraser's Prater Drug. Only better, with everything from Jelly Bellies to fresh popcorn to hot and cold gourmet coffees, even hot fudge cakes and banana splits. Fraser's Prater Drug hasn't forgot how important the little things in life are, and they don't want you to either. Stop and see them. They're just a couple of doors down from another Salyersville gym, the Seasonal Shop. Next, a very, very brief community calendar tonight. Not even a birthday to share. That's kind of an oddity around here. So, with that said, just a reminder, when you do have announcements, this is how you get them on the program. Still free, as always. Birthdays and anniversaries, too. And remember, we still publish birthdays, birth announcements, and anniversaries for free in the Independent as well. So send those to, we're still using our email, joe@SagersvilleIndependent.com, if you want to see those published in the paper. With that said, our calendar, of course, brought to you, and we have one by Magoffin Farm Bureau. Funeral services, obituaries, however, brought to you by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. And tonight, they wish for me to remind you of services to be held tomorrow at 1 for Paul Edward Reisner, 95 of Lexington, who passed away Thursday at his home. Survived by daughters Carolyn Legg and Sheila McClanahan, 2 grandkids, 3 great-grands, and 3 great-great-grands. He was preceded in death by his wife, Oma Shepard Reisner, and his son, Kirby. Graveside services tomorrow at 1 from the Reisner Cemetery. And Burl Holland will be laid to rest following services that start in his honor this Sunday at 1. He passed away on Tuesday, survived by his wife, Christine, sons Larry Neal, Jason, and Jeremiah John Holland, daughters Joanne Slusher and Ruby Jean Holland, and Amanda Blackburn, as well as a sister, several grandkids, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren as well. Funeral services, 1 o'clock Sunday from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Visitation will be Saturday from 6 to 9. Rudolph Newsom, 69 of Elkhorn City, passed away yesterday. Arrangements still incomplete at this hour to be announced by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Wanda Bailey, 52 of Whittensville, the wife of James Bailey, passed away today at the Bobby Hall Medical Center. Arrangements incomplete and to be announced soon by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. And 31-year-old Stephen Puckett of Sagersville passed away today, as well as the Bobby Hall Medical Center. Son of the late Dean Puckett and Tammy Wages Puckett, who survives. Arrangements to be announced soon by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. There's no missing that this is the new McFarland and Tinker Law Office location on the Mountain Parkway in the former Farm Bureau building in Sagersville, just like there's no denying that their nearly 60 years of legal experience has won their clients millions and millions of dollars in disability, auto accident, and wrongful death cases. It's where your case matters to you and to us. McFarland and Tinker, also Griffey approved. Summer is definitely in full swing at the Seasonal Shop, where it is filled with new arrivals in home decor, women's clothing, Ridge and Holler, and more. They've given their home decor a fresh look, and they have new displays literally wall to wall, from farmhouse to traditional, equestrian, and more. And Oat Shore neoprene bags are the latest craze in women's accessories, and they've got dozens of colors and styles available right now, and new ones coming in daily. And Lily planners have arrived just in time for school or work. And don't leave the guys out. Ridge and Holler shirts, yes, that's a McGoffin County Cadillac cap, and hats are a huge seller at the seasonal shop. Designs so unique and so special for our area. Designs you can only get at the seasonal shop. They still have delivery, baby and wedding registry, curbside service, and more. So, with all of that said, the best way I could leave you on a Friday, on any Friday, almost, is with a beautiful weather forecast for your weekend. At least we've got that going for us. Indeed we do. Tonight, some increasing clouds and a low of 50, and then this is what we have to look forward to for your weekend and for the week ahead. Yep. Not going to take a whole lot of time on this one. Those short and sweet forecasts just don't take long. Like I always say, when you pick them up and they're just a couple of sentences long, that means there's no mention of shower storms, bad weather of any kind. We've got very little of that tonight. We will see a little increase in the cloud cover over the course of your evening. That's about it. Increasing clouds and a calm wind. We'll start off on a bit of a cloudy note tomorrow morning, and maybe a little fog as well. And it'll be a little bit of a slow go, but we'll see skies become sunny. And we'll see the lower 80s. Back to the 80s we'll go. That's right, after a few lovely days in the 70s. So 81, 54 for your high and your low in the first half of your weekend, ultimately becoming sunny and mostly clear at the end of your Saturday. Sunday, warmer still, 85 and 60. Some fog in the morning, sunshine above during the day, clear skies that night. A little warmer still even on your Monday. You know, there's always going to be one more little rush of summer, and I doubt this is it. 87 on Monday, sunny and clear. Nighttime lows again right at the 60-degree mark. And from thereafter, more of the same. 87 and sunny on your Tuesday. Wednesday, 84, mostly sunny. You will notice the small change, though, in the reference of shower and storm chances for the rest of the week thereafter. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, temperatures back down from the upper to the low, actually mid-80s, but mostly sunny skies across the board and a 40 to 30% chance of showers for the latter half of next week. Still, a really nice run of some really beautiful weather. Not many complaints could be had with this forecast. Not really many at all. Enjoy it while it lasts. I told Mayor Shepard the other day we'll be hanging the Christmas banners in Sayersville. Before you know it, let's not rush things. That's it, everyone. Good Friday. Good evening. Thank you for being here. I hope everyone stays safe and well, and I hope to see you under better circumstances for our community and our country next week. Good night. Thanks for watching.